Great. Hi, welcome everybody. I'm Dr. Goggin, Linda, and it's so exciting to be able to bring you this information, right? If you're here, it's because somebody cares about you. Somebody was brave enough to say, hey, I think that this might help you. Or they said, "Hey, this might help your clients or your patients or the people that are coming into your business." Um, and so what I'm going to do during this presentation is I'm just here as a teacher, right? I'm going to educate you about this new type of technology that's life-changing for people and how you could have more rapid healing and actually turn on younger genes, increasing your own stem cells without injections, without having to pay a lot of money for stem cells, because we are able to tap into our own healing. So this is all about natural healing. And if you're interested in that, you're in the right place. If you want to have better sleep, more energy, less pain. And I love just this morning, Amelia was telling me about how her sleep, she can't believe that her sleep is better, right? Isn't that right, Amelia?
Yes. From 4 hours to 8 hours.
Oh, I mean, it's just so cool when you hear stories like that. When we turn on younger genes, things happen in our body that we really can't imagine. When I had a patient bring me, I'm a family doctor, and the patient brought me a patch and said, "Look at this patch." Made my pain go away. And I was intrigued. And then they said it was a light patch. And I'm like, I don't know, where's the light in that patch? I'm going to explain to you how they work, right? Because you can see there's not light here. In fact, you're the battery. And so in my career as a family physician, the most important thing that happened to me, honestly, was getting sick. And I'm so thankful to the universe for that experience, because it let me discover the wonders of natural medicine, right, and functional medicine. And then also it led me to biotech, right, to be open-minded about new ways that we can heal. And so when somebody brought me the patch, the LifeWave patch, and said it helped them, I was like, well, I'm interested, I'll look into it. Diving into the science, I see that yes, there's physics behind it, there's research behind it, and I feel like now I want to share with people about it because it was so life-changing for me. At that time, I couldn't exercise. Now I am much more fit. I can ski with my kids. I ran a half marathon. I mean, it was a revolution in my physical health beginning this patch. So I want to see that in more people, that revolution. I want to open possibilities. And sometimes we just need a jump start, right? And that's what I found is the patch, when I use it in clients who are using my protocols, that they get better faster, and then they feel better first. And I think that if we can feel better, sometimes it's easier to take a walk, right? If there's less pain, if we have more energy. And this is extremely useful for me as a provider. And of course, as a mom, I put these patches on my kids. And so I want to talk a little bit about how the idea for the patches came. David Schmidt invented these when he was trying to find a solution to get more energy for the Navy SEALs, right? So he's working for the government. What he began to do was look at natural systems to try and understand, how do natural systems, like how can lobsters actually get stronger as they age? How can some species grow appendages if you cut them off, right? Because that doesn't happen to us. And like, how do the honeybees, the queen bee lives 50 to 60 times longer than the worker bees? The fact is that our body is always giving ourselves instructions, okay? So the instructions come in the form of tiny little molecules. Peptides are one variety of those little instruction molecules. And so turns out the queen bee in royal jelly, she's eating a certain peptide that causes her to live a lot longer, right? It gives her genes a different kind of instruction. And we know if we can change peptides in the body, that we can actually change what's happening and what genes are turned on and turned off. So light can do this. You guys actually already know this. You're so smart. When you go in the sun, what happens? Who knows what happens? We make vitamin D, right? And that is a good example of how light changes the instructions for your body, right? So when we get really specific with it, and light in a specific way can change biology. When light comes into a cell, different frequencies are going to turn on and off different genes. So that is really how the LifeWave patches work, is when you place this patch on the body at at a point, our body is giving off a little light. So you look on the left, there's a guy sitting in front of a very special camera, and this is charting the energy and heat and light coming off of his body. So this acts like a tiny mirror. And according to whatever crystals are within this, the crystals are made of amino acids and sugars. Nothing goes into the body. There's no medication at all. It reflects back a tiny bit of light. So it's like an IV of light that you're getting, extremely specific, that changes the instructions you're giving your body, right? And so we know light can activate stem cells through a instruction molecule called GHK-Cu. And stem cells are choose your own adventure cells, right? Stem cells can become whatever kind of cell you need in order to heal. And that is pretty cool. So as we get older, our own stem cells decline. And that's part of the reason that we will age faster and heal more slowly when we get older, because we have lost that ability to tap into our own healing powers. When you turn on younger genes, by increasing this instruction molecule, GHK-Cu, you get the power of your regenerative capacity back. So this is the copper peptide, GHK-Cu, and they put on a real patch and a dummy patch, and they saw that in the people's blood, they had an increased level of this GHK-Cu, and it turns on roughly 30% of the genes to a younger state, a younger, healthier state. So you can reduce inflammation, you can rebuild tissues. And this is why people have so many amazing improvements in terms of faster healing, growing stronger. I'm going to show you some data that helps you understand what I mean. When I say grow stronger, I mean physically stronger. They certainly look and feel younger, and we are able to optimize performance using these patches. So the LifeWave X39 patch is the flagship product. It really is the supercharged patch because it does so many things, because it's turning on the younger genes. And that's why in the research studies done by LifeWave and done by independent researchers, we can show improvement in energy, improvement in sleep, faster healing. I'm going to show you pictures of fewer wrinkles and faster healing, and certainly optimized sports performance. I could never have run a half marathon in a million years. In fact, after I did that, I said, honey, asking my husband, would you have ever thought I could do that? And, you know, he was honest. He said, no, not ever could I've imagined that you would do that. And the reason I was able to do that is because I didn't have pain from my arthritis. And my younger genes were turned on. So this opens up, you might not think that you're able to do something and that this could create that possibility for you. We know that light and these patches can reduce inflammation. And this is a picture of Center the horse, right? So 31-year-old horse, look at him before, right? And this is the heat map before thermography. Here is his after. And when you look at this 31-year-old horse, 6 months later, 6 months of using the Eon patch, there's not a placebo effect in horses, and a placebo effect does not cause this. The thermography, he is a cooler horse, and that is because that Eon patch reduced inflammation and changed the trajectory of his life. And that is how it works in mammals, right? You and me, we're all just mammals. I want to show you some of the recent information on how you can increase strength, stamina, and your cardiovascular health. So when we look at the X49, so that's the sister patch. So we have the X39 and the X49 performance bundle. They are the dynamic duo. And when you add the X49, people will gain more muscle mass and will get stronger. So when people start to use the X49, within the first week, they will gain stamina. And the reason is because they're making more muscle, they're getting stronger. This is at 2 months with using X49, improvement in sit-ups, push-ups, squats, bicep curl, grip strength. This was an early study. We looked at people riding bicycle. They went farther and faster with a drop in their pulse, okay? And that is amazing that somebody is having more output, like their body is going farther and faster with less work of their heart. And this is a 74-year-old, 2 months of using the X49, gained 7 pounds of muscle, lost 7 pounds of fat, health risk dropped like a stone from 53% above ideal to 20% above ideal. He's much healthier now. His wife is happy because it's less likely he's going to have a stroke. It's less likely he's going to have a heart attack because now he's able to, run around, chase the kids, take walks. This is the more recent strength study with X49, looking at men at 1 month and 2 months. And in a typical exercise study, these are typical results. This is not the X39 result. On the X49 result, we see 31 to 70% improvement at 1 month. Okay, so this is what typical studies, 8% at 6 months, 24% at 9 months, 17% at 3 months. Now, what did I say was X49's results at 1 month? 30 to 70% improvement in all exercise outcomes at month 1 and month 2. And these are statistically significant. P-values are highly statistically significant. And you guys who are in medical or healing professions probably know what I mean. And it's important as a doctor to look at the statistical significance. It tells you that it's not due to chance. It's not due to chance. And 30% is an amazing, but up to 70% improvement for all exercise outcomes. And this is a picture of some muscle improvement in muscle, calf muscle over 2 months. Now, this 84-year-old person using X39 and 49 is steadier on their feet. They are stronger, and that makes you be able to do life, right? So they said, well, if we're growing muscle, we're probably growing bone too. And we can follow markers in the blood that tells us if bone is being broken down or bone is being grown, right? NTX, when NTX goes up, 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 we are breaking down bone, okay? So high NTX, not good. That means we're breaking down bone. And we want NTX to be lower, and that's exactly what was found. A drop in NTX, statistically significant over the 2-month period of women using X49. And this makes sense because what happens when, in order to grow bone, we have to have muscles pulling on the bone. That stimulates the bone to grow. That's why the doctor says if you have osteoporosis or thin bones, that you should do weight-bearing exercise because you need more muscle to stimulate bone growth. So this is very exciting because right now the pharmacology, the drugs for osteoporosis, you can't take them very long. They've got a bunch of side effects. There's a lot of reasons why we want non-pharmaceutical ways to improve bone strength. So let me show you some pictures of people who have what I call the LifeWave glow. People have an improvement in the texture of your skin, the color, the bags go away, wrinkles improve, just sort of that glow comes on with a short, couple months of use. When we look at these women before and after, they just look, you can see that there's a big change in the texture of their skin and what's happening with the coloration of their skin, and what's happening is they're healing on the inside and it's starting to come to the skin. When we look at this after 1 year of use, the fine lines and the dark circles around her eye have really resolved over this year of use. And here's another one, LifeWave Glow. Look at her neck. It's much, much improved. So really, you don't, these people are not using creams or injections, potions. They're putting on a patch. Pretty neat. So also what happens in the skin when you activate your younger genes and stem cells is you heal faster. It's that paper thin skin of a 95-year-old. Back when I was a nurse, this was so hard to put dressings on. It was just tear so easily. And this healing is amazing. This is a jellyfish sting 3 weeks later. Drop jaw improvement for 3 weeks, medically speaking. It's very unusual for that kind of a burn to heal that quickly. This is also something I would have told you was impossible before I saw this slide. A huge bruise that the person who's on blood thinners, the doctor said this will take 3 weeks to get better. And this is day 3, note the clearing around the patch. And this is day 5. The bruise is gone. And so highly unexpected. If you have scars and you begin to use the patches, you may want to take pictures before and after. This is a scar 1 year after the significant surgery. And what we see is every little staple mark in 1 month of using the X39, you see that it's just melting into the skin. It's just, it's transformative. Any physician who is doing surgery, especially if you're trying to go for an aesthetic outcome, these patches are essential. I mean, there's no downside. They're affordable for people. It just makes such a difference with the skin healing 2 months after a car accident, and you can barely see the scar 2 weeks later. So this is a thumb that had multiple breaks over many, many years. 3 months of using the X39, and this previously blue, swollen, discolored with a scar and a thumbnail that was very unhealthy, it just looks kind of normal. So I love that. I don't know if that was expected or not. And if you're supposed to grow hair and you turn on younger genes, you're going to grow hair, all right? So this is 6 weeks of use, dramatic shift for this person. And these guys, you know, they're happier, right? That's really amazing improvement in hair growth. Now, there are not medical claims. This is a wellness product. And go to YouTube and look up X39 testimonials, and you will find so many people who have had amazing benefits in many different areas of their life from using these patches. Also, get with the person who referred you to come this morning, because they can show you amazing stories of people whose lives have been dramatically changed. This is day 1, 6 weeks, 10 weeks, using the combination X39, X49 dynamic duo, the performance bundle. And if you're trying to grow hair, if that's one of the outcomes you would like, you want to use both of those, because the X49 has something special. It increases AHKCU instead of GHK-Cu and AHKCU in non-Lifewave trials, but if you go on PubMed, compared to minoxidil, it is as effective as minoxidil. So, so if you're trying to grow hair, you want to use the performance bundle. So this is basically my medicine cabinet. I use these patches to help my family, myself. I always would reach for a patch before I'd reach for a Tylenol. There's an IceWave for pain, the eons for inflammation, the one patch to rule them off. You can just pick one. You're always going to go with the X39 though. Silent Nights can help with sleep. Aloe Vita is for the skin. Glutathione helps with detoxification and clearing out the toxins out of your body. Carnosine helps with brain health, wound healing. There's an energy enhancer, which is an amazing patch. There's one for horses, the AccuLife, and then the SP6 Complete, which helps with cravings and helps people balance internal organs. The acupuncturists love that one. So people ask, well, how long should I try it? When will I see something? Well, many times we'll send people a sample for a few days. They may feel nothing at all, but it doesn't mean it's not going to work. As soon as you put it on, it's turning on younger genes. And if you have issues that have been building up for a few years, it's going to take some time. And so in a 5-day sample, you might not feel anything. It doesn't mean that the stem cells are not going to work. Really, to give this an adequate trial, I say 3 months is reasonable time. Most people will feel something long before that. But what if it could, if it really could help you heal yourself, right? You owe it to yourself to give it a good try. So when we look at how you can possibly get some as a retail customer, $149 for 30 days, no subscription, there's a money back guarantee. As a preferred customer, it's $19.95, and that's the one-time fee. And then the wholesale pricing is $99.95. That you get the same price that I do as a brand partner. You also get samples every month, and then there's a money back guarantee. As a brand partner, it costs $25, and you still get that same wholesale pricing, and you can get paid up to 4 different ways, and you can help people all over the world, because this is an international company, and there's distributor facilities all over the world. And what's nice is my friend in Australia can order from me. In the United States, just goes to my website. My friend in Europe can order from me, just goes to my website, and then it'll be sent from an area near their country. As a family doctor, I feel confident that this is part of the new wave of medicine. using energy, using light to help people feel better. This is well supported with science and scientific and clinical studies by independent researchers and universities. And it's a neat company to work for, very positive. So when people get a patch, what happens is they come back and say things like this, your tech gave me my life back. I feel so different. I feel so much better. I can't believe it. I don't have the scar anymore. So it's pretty fun to see that happening. And those who are athletes, the performance bundle is an absolute essential. Look at your favorite athletes. If you look closely, you're going to see some patches on them. The company itself, what happens is when people use the patches, they want to share, and that's a natural thing to want to give them to your friends and family. And when we start to share, there's a way that the company makes it very easy for you to share with others by being a distributor. I'm an independent distributor. Practitioners do very well in LifeWave just because they have a lot of people to patch, and it helps their patient outcomes. It helps them get better faster. We have strategies and systems for everybody that is using the patches and sharing the patches to try and make it simple. And it's just patch and go. At the end of a visit, give somebody an opportunity to try them. And as we move into the new age of healing and regeneration, we're at the forefront. And this is the time to get involved, to start activating your own stem cells. I encourage you to get with the person who referred you to this conversation so that you can learn more information. And I hope that you guys all have an awesome, awesome day and go out there and shine.